Okay, hi guys. Let's talk about CSS colors. Okay, so far we've been looking at how we can change target element and then change their colors with color names, like doing things like red or brown or yellow. Okay, but CSS also provides us with other methods we can use to change these colors, and that's what we are going to be looking at now. So what I have here is my CSS, my HTML file, and then my CSS external CSS file, and then I've linked it. Okay, so I'm going to just create a H3, and then I'm going to say hello, bro. All right, and then inside of my CSS, okay, so I will target this with its ID. So I'm just going to say ID, and then I'm going to call this text. So inside of my CSS, I'm going to say, so how do I select this? Okay, we talked about it in our last class. So if you want, you can just pause this and then see if you can try to remember it. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use the hash text, okay, which represents the ID for hash, and then the text, which is what we have here. So I'm just going to change this to, I'm going to say color, and then I'm going to say red, like so. Okay, yeah, I'm going to say color red, like so. And if we switch to this, we should have color red. Okay, but there are still different ways that we can use um to change this. If we don't want to do name, okay, we can also do other options. Now there's what we call the hexadecimal color code. Okay, so, or no, let's do the RGB. So let's start with the RGB. So the RGB, okay, I think it's something that, so those of us that might have done photo editing, you'd always see this. Okay, here I have red, green, and blue. Okay, and for the RGB, the values we pass in are from 0 to 255. Okay, so from 0 to 255, and this should be, so if you have the higher value you have on a particular color, okay, that is the color that is going to stand out. So just to show us what this looks like, so if I say color and then I say RGB, like so, and then I hit enter. For the red, remember we said this is from 0 to 255. So for the red, I can say we want this to be 100. Let's say for green, we want this to be, let's say 30, and then blue should be like 20. Okay, so let's save this and say, I think we're having like a dark red or something. Okay, so yeah, so that is it. So I can also say something like, if I say color and then I say RGB, and then let's say maybe 200 here. Okay, we can say 100 here, and then we can say 150 on blue. Okay, and you see we have a different color, like a pink. Okay, so yeah, so any mixture of numbers you have from 0 to 255 here would give you a particular color. And like I said, um anyone you're having more color on, okay, or the color with the higher value would be the one that the color would stand out more. Okay, so this is basically what the RGB looks like, and it's also another way we can use to specify colors in our CSS code. Okay, so the next one is the hexadecimal. Okay, and the hexadecimal basically, um the hexadecimal color, okay, is from 0 to 9, and then from A to F. Okay, so from 0 to 9, okay, and then from A to F. So if you bring random numbers from these values I've mentioned, 6 of these random numbers, it should give you a particular color. Okay, so yeah, so let's just test that out. So I'm going to just generate random numbers in my head, and then we'll just type that out and see how it goes. So I'm going to say hash. Okay, so anytime you want to write hexadecimal colors in CSS, you have to put the hash first. So after hash, I'm going to just say, I'm going to say A, B, then 1, 2, then C, D, like so. Okay, and then if I do this and see, we already having a color here. okay, and then we should have like a pink. Okay, so that is for the hexadecimal. Okay, and then yeah, I think something I'm also supposed to say, I forgot to say on the RGB is that like um 0 is the lowest value, okay, and then 255 is the highest. So what this means is that 0 would give you black and then 255 would give you white. Okay, so if you want to have like a black color now, so you have to say 0 on red, 0 on green, and then 0 on blue. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so back to the hexadecimal. um so we are going to say yeah, so also here too, if I say colon then and I say something like ash 1 2 3 4 5 6, remember 6 values. Okay, so once I say 0000, you should see we are getting black. And then if I say ash, so what do you think the highest value would be here if I want to get white? So I want you to pause the video and then think about that, or try to type it out yourself, okay, and see if you are going to get it. Okay, so but the color, okay, is going to be ash f f f f f f f. Okay, sorry, 6 f's, sorry. So yeah, so remember we said that it's from 0 to 9 and then from A to F. Okay, so yeah, so F is the highest, y 0 is the lowest basically. Okay, so this should give us 0000 will give us what, black, then hash FFFF will give us white. But now the thing is with hexadecimal, okay, instead of us to type out like we're having the same values 6 times, instead of us to do that, you can just shorten everything and then say something like color, and then you can say hash FFF, just 3. Okay, and something to also take note of is that you can have this as capital letter or as small letters basically. Okay, so it must not be capital, but I just like having my own like this sometimes. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so the next stuff we have, okay, or the next color method, okay, we have is the RGBA. Okay, so the RGBA, and basically the RGBA, okay, is almost like the RGB, just that we have an additional A, and this A, okay, is used to specify the transparency, okay, or the opacity, if you want to put it that way. Okay, so yeah, so let's take a look at that. So I can say something like color, and then I'm going to say RGBA. Okay, so I want this to be like really red, so I can say the red there should be, let's, okay, we've been doing more of red, so let's just do more of green instead. So say maybe 250 here, and then this should be around, let's say, 200. Okay, and then for the alpha, now the alpha, we have values from 0, okay, to 1, where 0 is like totally transparent, meaning you are not going to see the color again, like while 1 is opaque, that is the full color, you're going to see the full color. Okay, so let's just put this at 1 and then see. Okay, and then we're having this like aqua kind of color. Okay, but then yeah, we can actually have, now if I say something like 0, okay, see, we are not seeing it again because it becomes totally transparent. Okay, so yeah, so but we can also do numbers in between, so you can say 0.3 or 0.5. So I can say something like 0.4, like so, and then it will just give me like, you see, it's a little bit, it's as if it's fading away, but like it's still visible. Okay, you can say 0.7. Okay, so it's normally between from like 0 then to 1, but you can do decimal numbers in between. Okay, so yeah, also the 0 here is also like optional, so you can, if you want to do 0.7, is fine. If you want to remove the 0, it would still give you same values too. Okay, so yeah, so that is for the RGBA. Now the next one is the HSL. Yeah, the HSL, and the HSL stands for hue, saturation, and lightness. Okay, hue, saturation, and lightness. So let's look at that. Okay, so we can say color, and the way to have this, you just say HSL like so. Okay, so where we have hue, okay, saturation, and then lightness. Okay, now this hue, for those of us that like did I love to say that I did physics, but yeah, but if you did physics, you should like remember one circle where like um you just circle and then they're like colors. I don't know what it's called, but I think it's one theory like that. But yeah, okay, so basically if we the more values we have here, okay, like as we keep going, okay, then it just keeps giving us like different colors basically. Okay, and then saturation is like how much of that color is present. Like, do you want it to be faded, or do you want it to have more, like to be more present? Okay, then why the lightness is how much lightness or how much darkness. Okay, so we can have something like maybe dark pink, okay, or a light pink, something like that. So the lightness allows us to control those things. Okay, so let's play a little bit with the HSL. So for the hue, we have values from 0 to 360. Okay, so yeah, so let's pick 300 for instance. Okay, and like I said, saturation is like how present, like how much intensity of this color do you want, and this is normally measured in percentage, which is from 0% to 100%. Okay, so yeah, so but let's do something like, let's say 80%, or we can do 100%, like so, like just pure visibility. And then for the lightness, we don't want this to be like too light or too dark, so we can keep it around, let's say 50%. Okay, just something in the middle. So yeah, so let's save this and see, and then we should have this color. Okay, so we should have this. All right. Okay, but now just also to show us how this, like each of these works, if I try to change this to 200, okay, you see like we are getting another color. Okay, so that is for the hue. Okay, and then like I said, this one is how much intensity. And also remember, you must always attach this percentage, because if I remove the percentage now, you see it's not really like it's giving us something else. Okay, it's giving us this previous color, is because like it's basically telling us that there's an error, because we're supposed to have percentage. Okay, so yeah, so now if I reduce this to 10%, you'd see like we are not getting that color again, like it's now faded. Okay, so yeah, so but if we put this at 100, okay, you'd see that like we just have the full color. And then like I said, this one is used to control the lightness, so something like light blue or dark blue, something like that. So if I put this at 0%, we are going to get black. Okay, like total darkness. And then if I put this in 100, what do you think will happen? Exactly, we'll get total whiteness. Okay, so yeah. Okay, and then lastly we have the HSLA. Okay, so which is almost similar, okay, with the HSL, just additional alpha. So just to do the same thing, so we have 200, let's say maybe 60% here. Okay, and then let's say 60% also. And if you remember what I said about the alpha, that this controls like from 0 to 1, okay, and it controls the opacity. So we can say if I set on 0.5 for instance, and then I say, we should see like we are having as if the color is fading out a bit. Okay, so yeah, so well, yeah, this is basically the color codes that are like really important in CSS. Okay, though the other ones, but I don't think we need them for now. In short, like you just notice that you might just stick with only one of these. Okay, but we are just saying this so that if we are saying all these extra ones, so that if someone else or you see it somewhere, you not get lost. Okay, so yeah, but normally like most of the times you don't only stick with one of these things or one of these methods. Okay, just look for one that like you feel really good at, or just feel really balanced with, and then you just pick up from there. Okay, so having said that, see you in the next one. Have a nice day.